Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl, and of course, today every morning I bring out my plants and then I take them back in after about 4 or 5 hours. And this is a perfect day. It's not sunny, so it's just an overcast day, which is great for being able to climatize your plants. I just did a count. I actually have 87 tomato plants. So I will be using 42 of those, and I will be getting rid of 45. So that's not too bad. A little bit better odds than last year. I don't have to get rid of quite as many. I do have 20 flats in total. I have a couple of partial trays, and today I am also going to be putting my meat birds out. They won't be in the chicken coop. They're 5 weeks old this weekend. We could have put them out at 4 weeks old, but we just felt like they hadn't feathered out enough as far as what we were concerned. So they're 5 weeks now, and I'm going to be putting them out, and we have an electric fence set up, and we will have them out free ranging. We also have it's like a mobile chicken cover for them that Jamie had built for them, and what we do is we move that around every couple of days. We'll move the whole thing. Well, no, not every couple of days. We usually have them in the same spot for about a week, and then we move them to a different spot on the lawn. And that also benefits our lawn too, because all that chicken poop, it seeps into the ground, and that is great for our lawn as well. And they peck around and take out all the bugs. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we'll just start at this end. In the back here, this is the Dusty Miller and my celery. And then these are the geraniums that I overwintered, and I was taking sections off of these plants. So these are the existing plants that I overwintered from last fall. In the back there, I have a little bit of basil. I up-potted some portulaca. And then I have some Nicotiana and Dianthus as well. These are my sweet banana peppers, the shishito peppers, the Big Bertha, and also the cayenne. In the front here, these are the brassicas, and I have some early snow cauliflower, red Dynasty cabbage. This was the cucamelon and the Brussels sprouts, but they didn't amount to anything. And then I have the China Gold cabbage. This is the sprouting broccoli. We have the Scorpio cabbage, Lenox cabbage. I have the Munchkin broccoli, and then the cheddar cauliflower, and these are zinnias in here. In the back, those are all my marigolds that I have, and I have quite a selection. I have some dark marigolds, some white marigolds, some petite lemon drop, crackerjack. In front here, these are all my snapdragons, and I have a mix of rainbow snapdragons, Mardi Gras snapdragons, and then these snapdragons are the petite mix snapdragons. Then in behind here, this is the eggplant, curled parsley, flat leaf parsley, and this is the lemon basil. In behind, I have my petunias, and those are my lobelia, all the different colors. Then these are the verbena. I have the borage. And then we come over here. In the front, is the balsam. And then we have stalks, alyssum, 2 kinds of alyssum. Then we have the calendula, and in the back are the hollyhocks, the Niagara hollyhocks. All of these peppers are my jalapeno peppers. And then these are the cosmos. These are the osteospermum. This one here is a lavatera. And then we start getting into the tomatoes. These 2 marigolds here in the back, those were given to me from the school. The kids were doing a Mother's Day present, and they were giving their moms marigolds, and there were 2 left over, so the teacher gave them to me. So these are all the different varieties. I have 21 varieties of tomatoes. So I have 87 tomato plants. These were the calabricoas that I picked up last weekend as a late Mother's Day present. And then here are the geraniums that I started from the plants that I showed you that I had overwintered, and that one on the very end, that is a mock orange that I had given to me. Okay, so I'm going to be moving my meat birds, and this is the electric fence that we have. It's a pretty big area. I mean, it goes all the way down to those trees, up to along the side of the trailer and here. So that gives them a lot of room to free range. And then when we feed them, we just throw the starter feed on the ground. They peck at it, then they get the bugs, they pick at whatever. So let's get started. I think this is going to take some time. Usually there's two of us, but Jamie's out of town. He's coming back today, and I actually literally have to crawl into the chicken coop because they're all hiding in the back. So this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. So this is the water that I exchanged it for. The problem with, I took the bottle off of the old waterer because the tray that the water comes out, the bottom tray, was cracked in like 2 or 3 places, and there was no plug at the bottom to block the water from coming out, at least until I get it into the chicken coop. And I didn't fill it anywhere near as full. It's only about Probably just over half because I can't lift this when it's like this. And it's everything I have just to be able to get that in there. Okay, now I'll find a level spot. Put it over here. This is a fairly shady spot. So, I'll just take the plug off. And now they have some water. And I'm just going to get them some of their grain. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on the grass and let them have at it. I'm just going to spread some of that around for them. They'll figure it out. Okay, all I have to do now is plug this in. They've got some feed, I've got them with some water. They have protection from the elements and the sun. And I'm just going to plug this electric fence in. So, I have this plugged in. I don't hear anything ticking like that it's grounded, that it's grounding anywhere. It's not grounding on a stick or anything like that, because it'll tick when if you know that it's hitting something that it shouldn't be hitting. Okay, next I'm going to move on to, I've got that all set up. I'm going to go and check on my plants because it's pretty sunny out now, and I'm going to go check on my plants and see if any of them are out in the full sun. And if they are, then I'm going to have to do some rearranging. So I'm going to be planting my celery, and I'm going to be planting it, part of it is going to be going under this side. On the other side of the panel, going up the panel, is going to be my cucumbers. And so that's exactly what I want to be doing. But on the underside, I'm going to plant celery on this side, and I've decided I'm going to plant some celery in behind this kohlrabi because I have 11 celery plants and I want at least 6 celery. I had, I think, 4 celery last year and I really enjoyed it. Celery takes a lot of water, so you want to be mindful of making sure that you're watering your beds on a regular basis after you've planted your celery. It just requires a lot of water. So I'm going to go grab my celery plants and we're going to plant some celery. So here are my celery plants. Some are bigger than others. I didn't get a whole heck of a lot the first time I seeded this celery. So I ended up adding some more seeds. So I have some that are smaller than others, but I have probably 4 or 5 good sized plants. And in the front here, this is where my green onions have reseeded themselves. So I'm just going to make some room, pull out a couple of them, and plant my celery. Oh, I see I have this is where I planted my second row of Chinese toy choice. So I have 1 row over here, and they're about this high, and then these ones are just sprouting out of the ground. So that's super exciting. I'm going to take my gloves off because I do better without my gloves on. And I'm just going to stick this tag in here. I mean, not that you can't tell what celery plants look like, but when they're small like this, you just never know. I'm gonna split this up down the middle. I've got 2 plants here together, so I'm just gonna separate these 2 plants just very carefully. I don't want to just accidentally break one of the plants, trying to take them apart. And so I'm going to have one here. And celery is another plant that you can plant in the cooler weather. Give it about, I'm going to give it about a foot. And in between the plants. And when I was harvesting my celery last year, I was just picking all the outer leaves as it grew, and it worked out really well. This year I want extra celery because I plan on whatever excess of celery that I do have, I'm going to chop it up and put it in freezer bags and freeze it. Got 4 plants over here. I think I'll put 4 plants on this side. I have some garlic that has come back from last year when I didn't think it was growing and there was nothing here. Well, that garlic has been in there a whole season and then some, and now it's decided to grow this year. So I will plant some celery here on the other underside of this panel as well. And then I'm going to have to thin out this kohlrabi. I'll have to look at the pack and see how much I'm going to, how much space they need in between the plants. Right, I'm just going to take this bigger one out and I'll plant it beside this garlic, because I'll be harvesting this garlic in the middle of July, and I don't think my celery was ready to be picked in the middle of last July, but I could be wrong. And I'll put one on the other side of the garlic. And I love celery. It's a great vegetable to have in your garden. Okay, I'm going to take one more of these little ones and we'll just hope for the best. See what happens. The ground is very wet, so I'm not too worried about getting water on these plants right away. It is so wet. It has definitely, we've had our fair share of rain. I am not complaining. I love that it's raining as much as it is. It saves me from having to water, but it's like, now it's sunny, so of course the plants are loving that too. They're getting the best of both worlds. So then I'm going to take a look, and I have some fennel. Now my fennel, I decided to try some fennel this year. All I did was I took some fennel seeds out of my spice jar, my fennel seed spice jar, and I planted probably about 8 seeds, and they actually grew. So my friend, she does quite a few recipes and puts fennel in a lot of fish dishes. So I'd actually like to get that recipe from her and try some fennel in some fish dishes as well. I have quite a bit of halibut and salmon in my freezer that my son went fishing last summer, and he ended up getting it, and he brought it home. He was at his dad's in Terrace, and he brought it home all cut, wrapped, packaged up, so that was awesome. So I ended up planting my fennel there in with my asparagus bed. It's planted near my dill, and I ended up reseeding some of my peas because I only had one pea sprout come up in this row. So I reseeded some more peas. Just have to hope that they come up. Over here in my circular bed, this is where I planted my flat leaf parsley, my curly parsley, and then this is the borage that I planted. But I have a borage coming in right here as well. So I have 3 plants. This one's not looking so great, so we'll see. But if it's going to reseed itself, I might not have to be too concerned about it. Over here is where I put my celery plants in. And I think that's about a foot apart. Looks like about a foot apart, maybe not those two, but it's pretty close. And then my other celery plants are over here. And then look here, this is the Chinese Toi Choy coming up. So this was planted 3 weeks after this Chinese Toi Choy. I also have my panels. I just have them propped up against the T-posts. I'm gonna have to wait until Jamie comes home. I have another one there propped up. And then these 2 on this side of the garden in these raised beds, I have them propped up. I can't hold the panel up and put the zap straps on, so I definitely have to wait until I have some help there. I do plan on planting a little bit more of the fennel plants. I have an area by my front door. There's a little planting box. It's made of brick, and I think I'm gonna stick a couple of fennel plants in there also. And I also have, oh, I thought I had some lemon basil. I wonder what the heck I did with that. I'll have to take a look because I need to plant that too. And I was going to plant that in my circular bed too, so I'm going to have to go look for that. But anyways, that's all I have for you for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I got a bit of stuff done. I noticed that my plants are not in the sun, so I don't have to take them into the house yet, so that's perfect. And I got my meat birds moved. I got them with feed, water, electric fence is on and set up, and I got a few plants planted also, and I think that's it. So thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.